Well, good morning and welcome to day 9 of this 10-day challenge. So go ahead and come into your comfortable seat if you're not there already. Take a moment to drop into awareness of how you're feeling today, whether you're live here with me at 7 a.m. Central or whether it's a different time of day. Take a moment to check in with how you're feeling. And then we'll bring our palms together in front of the heart. As we inhale, reach the fingertips up. As we exhale, reach out and down, release your hands down toward the floor. Take another breath in as you reach out and up. And exhale, hands come back to your heart. All right, again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, reaching out and down. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, hands to the heart. All right, one more like that. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Now interlace your fingers, press your palms forward and up. Begin to reach up through one hand and up through the other side, left and right. Gently pulling on your fingers as you stretch into each arm, shoulder, and side of the body. All right, and then release your hands, take them behind your back. Interlace your fingers, squeeze your shoulder blades together, beginning to open up through the chest. Turn the head side to side. All right, and then reach the chin up and drop it down. Again, lifting up and dropping down. And then one more time, lifting up and dropping down. All right, as you lift your head back up to center, scoot your interlaced fingers, so your knuckles essentially, over towards the right side of your waist. If this doesn't work to keep the hands interlaced as you scoot them over to the side, you could just grab a hold of your elbows or forearms behind your back. The intention here of moving the hands to one side is to anchor the opposite shoulder in place so that as you drop your head away from it, you start to get that stretch on the left side of your neck, which you can do with your fingers interlaced, scooted over to one side, or just simply grabbing your forearms or elbows behind your back. All right, so head drops over to the right, away from that left shoulder, and just take your head a little bit forward. Just a tiny bit. So, like you're drawing your chin in a little bit, top of the head slightly forward. And then ease the head back a little bit as well. Again, slightly forward. And slightly back. All right, and then bring your head up to center. Scoot your knuckles over to the other side, or simply maintain connection with the hands grabbing opposite forearms behind your back. And then this time, let your head drop over to the left so that you're starting now to feel into the right side of your neck. Take your head just a little bit forward as your chin kind of tucks a little bit. And take the head slightly back. Again, head just a little bit forward. and slightly back. All right, and then guide your head up to center. Release your hands. All right, we'll shrug our shoulders up. Take them back and down, again shrugging up and back and down, and then one more up and back and down. And now sweep your arms up. Let your elbows bend. Take a hold of your left elbow with your right hand and just let your left hand drop down into the space between your shoulder blades, so that this right hand is just gently guiding the left elbow toward the center line of your body. Now, we all have different shoulders, so how far your left elbow goes behind your head is going to vary widely. So just find a little bit of sensation here along your outer, or I should say the back, really, of that upper arm. Hmm. All right, take 3 more breaths. And now slowly release both hands down, and then we'll switch. All right, take the arms back up, bend the elbows. Now let your left hand take a hold of your right elbow, and then just begin to gently guide it back toward the center line of your body. So again, your right elbow might go behind your head, it might not, but you're just looking for a little bit of sensation in your body in the back side of your right upper arm. And perhaps you notice that one side feels a little tighter than the other. It's usually the case for most of us that we're a little different left to right. All right, take 3 more breaths. And then slowly release both hands down to the floor. All right, so we'll transition onto hands and knees. As you come onto hands and knees, take your hands underneath your shoulders, but we'll start with our knees together. All right, lift your left knee up and out to the side. Pause there a moment, energize your left foot, and then start to rotate through your left hip. A couple of times in one direction. And a couple of times the opposite way. All right, with your next inhale, reach your left foot back behind you. With your exhale, pull your left knee into your chest, around your back. Again, inhale, left leg back. Exhale, knee into the chest. And one more, breathing in. And breathing out. All right, as you take your left leg back this time, cross it over your right leg, drop the toes, curve the spine to the right, peeking back at your left foot, sensing all the way up the left side of the body, from the foot to the hip to the shoulder. Couple of deep breaths. All right, bring your torso back to neutral. Step that left foot forward to the left hand. We'll step into a wide lunge today. So just slide your right knee back a little bit here. Right hand is still down on the floor. You might opt to keep the palm down. You might come up onto a fist. If you have a block handy, you might also put your hand on a block to give yourself a little extra height as well as a little extra cushion. And then start to twist toward your left leg. So your hips are dropping down and forward, kind of towards that left heel a little bit. As you rotate, this right shoulder's moving forward, left shoulder's moving back. Head can turn to look back. Start to relax your facial muscles, your cheeks, your jaw, your forehead. All right, one more breath. And then release back to hands and knees. As you come back to hands and knees, we'll tuck our toes under, lift the knees and pause and hover. Remember that as you're lifting your knees just about an inch off the floor here, your low back is still dropping. So try not to round the low back, keep the low back dropping down. One more breath in. Exhale, lift up into downward dog, hips up into the air. Start with your knees nice and bent so you get really long through your back and arms and shoulders. And then let one of your heels drop down while the opposite knee bends nice and deep. Switch back and forth a few times, left to right. All right, and then release down to your knees. Sit back towards your heels as we come into child's pose. Give your hands and wrists a little bit of a break here. Squeeze and release the fingers, as well as rotate through your wrists. All right, and then rise back up onto hands and knees. Hands again under shoulders, knees back together. We'll do the right side of that sequence. So just start by lifting your right knee up and out to the side. Pause to energize your foot. And then start to rotate through your hip. Right knee draws a big circle in space. All right, change directions. And then the next time that you breathe in, reach your right foot back. Breathing out, pull the right knee into the chest, around the back. Again, inhale, reach back. Exhale, knee into the chest. And one more, breathing in. And breathing out. As you take your right leg back this time, we'll cross it over the left leg, drop the toes down. Curve your spine to the left, peeking back at that right foot. And creating this side bend position here as we sense all the way up the right side of the body. All right, as you bring your torso back to neutral, step your right foot forward to your right hand. Scoot your left knee back a couple inches. Left hand stays on the floor, maybe as a palm. Maybe you switch over to a fist to give your wrist a little break. Maybe you take your hand up onto a block. And as your hips are starting to drop down and move sort of towards this front heel, let your spine rotate toward the front leg. Right shoulder starts to move back a little bit, left shoulder moves forward. And just take a few rounds of breath here. All right, and then release back to hands and knees. Once again, sitting back into child's pose. Give the hands a little break. Squeeze and release the fingers. All right, pull yourself back up onto hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees about an inch. Pause and hover. Reach your tailbone up. Take another breath in. Now exhale to downward dog. From this downward dog, walk your hands and feet toward each other. Pause in your forward fold. Bend your knees just like we did in down dog. Torso and thighs come together or close, as is possible for your body. Or I should say, to the extent that is possible for your body. Let your head gently shake yes and no. And begin to walk your hands up the fronts of your legs, rising to stand, a little bit at a time. As you come all the way up, step your feet about hip distance apart. Take a breath in, float your arms forward and up as you bend your knees and push your hips back. Gently lift the ball of your right foot. Let it come back down. Lift the ball of the left foot. Let it come back down. So really try to move more of the weight back towards your heels by really focusing on pushing the hips back, which for some of us might mean there's less bend in the knees if we just really focus on the pushing of the hips back. If it's not comfortable in the shoulders to take the arms all the way up, just bring them forward. All right, one more breath. All right, inhale to stand. Exhale, release your arms. All right, so we'll do breath of joy. This one is 3 inhales through the nose, 1 exhale through the mouth. So inhale in 3 parts, exhale in 1 part. So as you're inhaling in these 3 parts, first part you'll take your arms forward, and then out, and then up. All right, and then with your exhale, you'll bend your knees a little bit, kind of squat back into that almost chair pose we were in, and sweep your arms back in space with that exhale. So one round looks like this. It's going to be breathing in through the nose and then out through the mouth. All right. So in, out. And we'll do just about 15 or 20 breaths of this. I really never count. I like to get into the movement of it and I just don't count. So start by becoming aware of your feet, the contact that your feet make with the floor. Feet are about hip distance for most of us. All right. And let's begin. Last one. go ahead and pause with your feet just a touch wider, about halfway folded forward, forearms resting on your thighs. Let your breath resume its natural, easy pace as you start to notice the effect of that breathing practice on your body and mind. All right, gradually rise up to stand. All right, so we did one standing balance yesterday. We're going to do a slightly similar but slightly different one today. So shift your weight into your right foot. You're going to start the same way. And then step your left foot slightly forward. So most of the weight is in this right foot, very little weight in the left foot. But this is where we start. All right, take your arms behind your back. Grab a hold of your right wrist. Squeeze your shoulder blades together so that you're kind of puffing out your chest. All right. Hands are dropping down. Most of the weight is in this right foot. Now, to the extent that is right for you, begin to lift your left foot. Now, yesterday we brought our lifted thigh parallel to the floor with an energized foot. Today, we'll bring this left foot to the shin of the right leg. Now, if you need to keep the ball of your left foot down, that's fine. That's a fine place to start. Just keep transferring more and more weight into your right foot, even if this left foot is near the floor, just in case. But if you can bring your left foot to your right shin, do that. Keep opening up through the chest. Take another full breath. All right, left foot comes to the floor. Release your arms. Shake them out a little bit. Shake out your standing leg. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So when you're ready, shift your weight to your left foot. Step the right foot slightly forward, but most of the weight down in your left foot. Take your arms behind your back. Grab your left wrist. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Kind of puff out your chest. Hands are reaching toward the floor. And again, you might stay here with the ball of the right foot down. You might start to lift your leg and take your right foot to your left shin. All right, one more round of breath. All right, then release that right foot. Release your arms. Shake them out. Shake out your standing leg. And then we'll step near the top of the mat, feet about hip distance apart. As we inhale, bend the knees, push the hips back, sweep your arms forward and up. As we exhale, fold over the legs, hands to the earth, step back, downward dog. All right, with your next inhalation, release to your knees. And as you exhale, sit back towards your heels one more time in child's pose. Take 3 breaths. All right, after your 3rd breath, go ahead and turn over onto your back. And as you come onto your back, hug your knees into your chest. Give them a gentle squeeze, a little rock from side to side. And then cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Hug the legs into the chest, grabbing your left leg. Rotate a bit here through your left ankle. Rotate both ways. All right, and then release this side and switch. So left ankle crosses the right thigh. Reach through for your right leg. Hug the legs into the chest. Rock a bit side to side. And rotate through your right ankle. Wiggle and move the toes. All right, as you release both feet down to the floor, step them as wide as the mat. Let the knees drop in toward each other. Let your hands rest on your belly or the floor. We'll do one more breathing practice here, focused on calming the nervous system by lengthening the exhale portion of the breath. So we've done this one a few times throughout the 10 days. We'll once again breathe into the count of 3 and then hold it in for 3 counts and then exhale to 6. So when you're ready, breathe into 3. Hold your breath in for 3 more counts. And exhale to the count of 6. Again, inhale to 3. Hold. Exhale. Now take several more rounds of breath in this way. Breathing into 3. Hold it for 3. And exhale for 6. Take one more breath in this way. And then let your body resume an easy, natural pace to breathing without counting or regulating its flow. And then when you feel ready, slowly roll to one side. Press yourself up into your seated position. As you come into your seat, we'll guide our palms together in front of the heart. As we acknowledge and bow to the light within ourselves, we also acknowledge and bow to the light within each other. Namaste. Thank you again for joining me on day 9. We got one more to go tomorrow, so hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.